Cort-45 malt liquor.
It's the Cort-45. It's the Cort-45. Cort-45.
Sorry I'm late. I took the shortcut.
It's the Cort-45, which is kind of a travel guitar. And I hate to even say that because typically when I think of a travel guitar, I think of a guitar that one would consider it a challenge to want to play it even if you were on vacation, because they're pretty much awful. But this is not the case. This is somewhere around the early 80s. I'm not sure when it was designed, if it was 84 when this was produced. My Cort-45 was rescued from a dumpster. When I got it, it only had one working pickup. And I put another similar pickup from a Les Paul copy that had a bad neck. That guitar had died. So eventually the other pickup failed. I think this guitar was kind of rusty. It's got brass hardware, so you polish it up every few months. Like I just polished it today, so you can see how shiny that inlay there where it says Cort-45. I painted that flat black. So the tuners on this one have been replaced. These are argent colored, which is gray. They're Spurzels. But the EMG Selects, the story with that was the pickups in this guitar were always bad. And then one didn't work and the other one stopped working. So I ended up getting these for $10. They were they're plastic pickups, and someone had dropped it. I'm guessing they had bought these to put into something, and they had dropped it, and it had broken the mounting tab off because the wires had never been soldered. They were brand new when I got them. I got it from a guitar store. So it's got these EMG Selects. Originally, this guitar was wired up with it had the two toggle switches as stock. There was one selector for the pickups, and the other is a switch for in and out of phase, I believe, on the Cort. So the way I have it wired, these were single. You have the option with the switch to go single coil or humbucker. So I don't know if that's that coil tap. It's not called coil tap. It's coil split. So yeah, it's the coil split, and then we have the selector. Now at the time, the switch that was in here was bad. It was like flopping around. You had to like press it down to get it to work, and I didn't have any 2-position. This is a 3-position, so the middle position is silent. So you the kill switch type of effect if you want to, and I could always replace it if I wanted to. Now the thing is with these Selects, and you could almost consider this as I want to look at what's good about the guitar and what's bad. There's a huge volume difference when you change over from humbucker to single coil. And like here, as I do the audio demo, you'll hear running a computer monitor like I am. It picks up a lot of hum. I can really only run the humbucker. I mean, if you get it in the right position, if you like move to the right spot, it'll be quiet. It'll behave. So if we want to look at the thumbs down about the guitar, well, for one, you have this shape here. Okay, so if you set it down on the ground, it always wants to go that way. So I came up with this little thing that flips down, and it kind of locks into place, and that enables you to it sets like that, and it doesn't fall over. It doesn't go that way. So, and then to deactivate this, you pull it up and push it under. So this is part of a pick guard from a Les Paul, my first Les Paul. Pull this down, and then it latches in with the screw here. There's a little cutout in this thing. There's a little latch, and then you kind of pull it out, and it latches, and you pick it up, pull it out, and slide it in like that. So that's a little bit wonky. It came with sold, there's a little doghouse here with a rod in it, and they had like this weird, almost military-looking fabric, like this green, thin, real painful strap that came with it. And then I think I may have replaced these strap locks. I may have added these darker colored hardware here because of the EMGs. There's a big volume difference between single coil and humbucker, which isn't going to be the case all the time. I mean, that's just a fact of life. So can we hold it against the Cort-45? Not really. The brass hardware, it gets dull, it gets real dark, it almost gets black. So you polish that up and then it looks like it does today, which is absolutely stunning. It looks like jewelry, almost like gold. So that, like today, this was polished up because I was going to do the video. There's another goofy strap button, place to put a strap here. It's got a brass nut. Not that these are downsides. It's a single. It has a truss rod, but it is a neck through design. It's kind of a fat, like a D-shaped neck. So that's a downside for me. I'm not crazy about the way the neck feels. It tends to make me want to try to play fast for some reason. I don't know. And then the fact that there's no tremolo. Like ideally, if I could send this to a luthier, I'd be like, put a Floyd Rose or like a collar trem on this, and then have it lock up here. You know, then it would be just the ultimate guitar. So, but for pluses, I would say that everything about it, it's just, it stays in tune. You can go up here and bend the strings up here. Lack of whammy. But the shape, like a whole album I recorded or produced or wrote, was wearing this guitar, working in the studio at a desk, sitting down in a chair with a MIDI keyboard and a sequencer, and then another computer, and then a tape machine, and a board, and a rack mount. So I'm doing guitar parts, and then when you drop the guitar, I got a strap on, I could lean my arm on this as a rest and use the mouse, play the keyboard, you work on the board. It's just like, if you have a Strat on, you're not going to be able to do that as comfortably because the wings of the Strat, the shape of a Les Paul, any other normal guitar, is going to kind of be getting in your way. Where this has this cutout, which I said is kind of a downside because of setting it down and it falling, but in real-time application or use of playing it, you just jam this into your thigh and it fits and feels really nice there, holding that there. So despite its awkward size, it has a great feel on the heel of the neck for playing up high. This guitar is just a wonderful instrument. If you're familiar with Cort or Japanese guitars from that period, 84, 85 in there, you know what I'm talking about. They're wonderful instruments. So thank you so much to my younger brother, Bjorn, for thinking of me. He brought it home and showed me when he had garbage picked it. And he was going back to school, and I was like, literally begging him, saying, please don't bring that back to school, because any of your guitar player buddies are going to want that guitar. And I wanted it. I never saw anything like it. And I'm like, I will pay you. I'm not trying to get anything for free. He was like, no. I want to show my buddy. My buddy plays guitar. And he's like, I'm not going to give it away or sell it. Don't worry, and all that. And then for Christmas, he had wrapped it up and given it to me. So thank you so much to my younger brother, Bjorn. I played this guitar on the island jams. Brought this out and used it in remote locations a bunch of times. And I've also used it here at home for recording. I played this guitar live. I just absolutely love the Cort-45. And then this is going back to, actually that was single coil. Here's humbucker. Now single. And then we'll go to the neck, the bridge pickup. That's single. And then here's humbucker. So as we hear, it's got a lot of, I don't want to say tonal options, but there's a lot of variety on this. I have used this to get a great, they call it the woman tone, where you have a fuzz box, you turn the tone control all the way down, and you go up to this pickup and crank it, and man, does it sound great. If you would like to hear what this sounds in a real life situation, I put the links in the description. There's a couple of songs I recorded recently, just using modeling stuff, going direct in like line 6 guitar port, and using their modeling software. So it's like a TS, a tube screamer going into a dirty amp, kind of a 80s hair metal sound. And then like a more cleaner, like basic guitar tone. So those songs I recently recorded, and I use this guitar on all of those. So I mean, what can I say about this guitar besides I know they're rare. I absolutely love this thing. It makes me play a little differently. I think it's the D-shaped neck. It's very, very light. It's a little bit top heavy, like with the strap it tends to want to kind of dive bomb a little bit. It's not quite as balanced as good as it could be, but it's just a little bit. And like I said, looking up for information on this guitar, I didn't find much, but there is, need to rephrase that. Going back in time, when the internet was new, there was nothing about Cort-45 for the longest time. I used to look it up, and it seems like more and more they're coming out of the woodwork. And now there is actually a page, Rare Guitars, where they talk about it. So this is taken from that page. It says, in 1984, when Jack Westheimer of Cort got the idea to come up with his own cross between a minimalist, which is like a Steinberger, and a Travell guitar, he designed this guitar. Actually, Westheimer's inspiration was less the Steinberger or Chiquita Travell guitar and more of the Colt-45 handgun, which I don't really see it. I mean, initially this guitar was supposed to have the cream-colored humbuckers, and I've got the Gaudy 2 on there, and I went and added argent to it, so it's just a mess from its original what it's supposed to look like. But I really think that for my eyes, I've gotten used to what my Cort-45 looks like, and I love the way it looks, even with the EMG selects. The one thing I don't like is the little cursive writing in there. If I could have that blacked out, I think I would feel a little bit better about that. Westheimer, who designed it, there was a guy named Young Park, and he tweaked the design in 1985, and then Cort debuted the Cort-45. And Jack used to laugh that he was the only one who ever connected the name or the shape of the guitar to a pistol. And obviously the big distributor Target Diner didn't, because their version is called the Austin Hatchet. And I'm wondering if that is British, because I know I read today that, what's his name, the guy from the Police? Summers. Andy Summers, the guy from the Police, played maybe an Austin Hatchet. I'm not that much of a Police fan, but I found that out today. So if you are looking for the ultimate Travell guitar, as far as I know, this is the coolest Travell guitar that exists. If you see one of these things, definitely grab it. If you know anything about Cort-45s, welcome to the club. It's a small club. I really don't know that much about it, so feel free to let me know in the comment section. I would appreciate it. So thank you for joining me, you guys, and peace.